Hello students, in today class we will discuss about the quinine, and in this topic we will cover about the sources of quinine, isolation method, identification test of quinine, industrial production, estimation and utilizations of quinine. So if you see that quinine is a well-known bitter anti-malarial drugs which occurs in various species of cinchona, particularly like Cinchona calisaya, Cinchona sacrorubra, Cinchona officinalis, Cinchona ladgeriana. Okay, Cinchona calisaya, Cinchona sacrorubra, Cinchona officinalis, and Cinchona ladgeriana. And basically, it is obtained from the bark of this Cinchona drug, and so many species are there. So we can say that it is a well-known bitter anti-malarial drugs which occur among the alkaloids of various species of Cinchona bark belonging to family Rubiaceae. Now, this Cinchona bark consists about approximately 30 alkaloids, but its anti-malarial activity is because of the quinine, quinidine, cinchonine and cinchonidine is there. So these compounds are responsible for the anti-malarial activity, that is because of the quinine, quinidine, cinchonine and cinchonidine. And pure quinine and cinchonine has been firstly isolated in 1820 by the Pelletier and Caventou. Okay, so you have to remember here that the source of quinine, that is Cinchona calisaya or Cinchona officinalis and other species of Cinchona which belong to family Rubiaceae, and major use of quinine is anti-malarial, and that compounds which the compound, that is alkaloids which occurs in the quinine in Cinchona is, that is quinine, quinidine, cinchonine, cinchonidine. Okay, and these compounds has been isolated in 1820 by the scientist Pelletier and Caventou. And if you see the properties of the quinine, so basically it is the quinoline alkaloid. So if you see the structure of quinine, so quinoline basic moiety is present in the structure of quinine, and its molecular formula is C20H24 H and 2 and O2. C20 H24 and 2 O2 is the molecular formula, and its melting point is 177 degrees Celsius, and it's occur in the form of crystals, and usually its color is white. So we can say that it's occur in the white crystalline powder or in the form of white crystals, and it is the insoluble in the water. So we can say that it is insoluble in the polar solvent and soluble in the non-polar solvent, and this is the basic concept for the extractions of the isolation, that in the free base all the alkaloids are insoluble in the polar solvent, whereas insoluble in the insoluble in the polar solvent and soluble in the non-polar solvent. And in case of salt of alkaloids, they will be insoluble in the non-polar solvent and they will become soluble in the polar solvent like alcohol and water. So in previous class I also told you that about this concept which we use for the extractions of the alkaloidal drug. So always you have to remember this concept of the extractions by which you can extract or isolate any alkaloidal phytoconstituent. And if you see the taste of the drug, it is normally bitter, and quinine and quinidine are stereoisomers of the each others, and quinine is levorotatory in nature, whereas quinidine is dextrorotatory in nature. Now the isolation method, so that principle is here that quinine is the major constituent of cinchona which is isolated by direct crystallizations, and it is crystallized as a basic sulfate by neutralizing the acidic extractions medium with sodium carbonate at pH 6. So it is the principle, and we can also say that according to solubility pattern of the drug, that extractions method is depend. So if you see the method of isolation, first of all we have to collect the plant material. After that we have to dry that plant material. Then we will convert into the coarse powder form, and we will treat this powder with the calcium hydroxide, that is 30%. Okay, alcoholic calcium hydroxide, we will take solution of alcoholic calcium hydroxide, and concentrations of that alcoholic calcium hydroxide should be 30%. Now we will add the 5% sodium hydroxide solutions to make a paste, and we will keep this mixture for few hours so that alkali can convert Cinchona alkaloid to free base. Okay, so now what is going there, that it is converting into the free base. तो हमने क्या किया इस मेथड में, वी आर टेकिंग, हम ले रहे हैं इसमें कोर्स पाउडर ले रहे हैं सिंकोना का, जिसको हम अल्कोहलिक कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड 30% सॉल्यूशन के साथ मिक्स करेंगे, और उसमें थोड़ा 5% सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ऐड कर देते हैं, और हमें उसका थोड़ा पेस्ट बनाना होता है, और फिर हम इसको थोड़े समय के लिए, कुछ घंटों के लिए इसको रख देते हैं, जिसकी वजह से क्या होगा कि ये आपके फ्री बेस में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं. Now these free bases are extracted with a benzene or petroleum ether in a Soxhlet extractor. Okay, after that mass we obtained, so we have to take the benzene or petroleum ether, and these are the non-polar solvent. Okay, if you see that benzene and petroleum ethers are the non-polar solvent, and we already said that when it is in the free form, it is soluble in the non-polar solvent. Okay, that's why we are taking the non-polar solvent, and we will assemble the assembly of Soxhlet, properly pack all the coarse powder in a Soxhlet apparatus, and the solvent will be benzene and petroleum ether. So as per the required time, we will complete the extractions, and after completion of extractions we will filter the extracts, and we will evaporate the benzene with the help of distillation under reduced pressure to get the residue, and then this residue should be treated with the 5% sulfuric acid. Now because of this sulfuric acid treatment, there will be the formations of the salt. So we will adjust the pH of aqueous acidic fraction during hot condition at 6.5 with dilute sodium hydroxide. So what is going there, that after extractions with the petroleum ether, we will evaporate all the benzene extract, then we are acidify with the 5% sulfuric acids, then we will take this aqueous acidic fractions during hot condition, and we will add dilute sodium hydroxide to this acidic fractions to adjust the pH 6.5 with the help of pH meter or pH paper. So crystals of neutral sulfate quinine separate out. Okay, so because of this process, there will be the formations of the crystals which will be neutral sulfate, and after that the sulfate is freed from cinchonidine and cinchonine. Okay, this sulfate is freed from cinchonidine and cinchonine by repeated crystallizations from hot water using the activated charcoal to removing the coloring matter. So whatever the crystals we are obtaining here, they will also contain the cinchonidine and cinchonine. So to remove this these cinchonidine and cinchonine, we will do the recrystallizations, and we will use the hot water and activated charcoal. This charcoal will remove the impurities like coloring matters. ओके, सो आपने क्या किया कि जो जैसे आपने कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड और सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड के साथ आपने ट्रीट किया पाउडर ड्रग सैंपल को, और उसको कुछ घंटे के लिए आपने रख दिया अलग से, और फिर उसको आपने जो मास आपका आया उसको आपने क्या किया, सॉक्सलेट अपरेटस में प्रॉपरली पैक किया, और बेंजीन या पेट्रोलियम ईथर के साथ हम उसको एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं. एक्सट्रैक्ट कंप्लीट होने के बाद बेंजीन को इवेपोरेट कर दिया जाता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ डिस्टिलेशन अंडर रिड्यूस्ड प्रेशर. उसके बाद हम उसका एसिडिफिकेशंस करते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ dilute sulfuric acid and the concentrations of acetic acid should be 5%। और इसके बाद हम जो एक्वस एसिडिक फ्रैक्शंस है इसको हॉट कंडीशन में इसकी pH 6.5 एडजस्ट करेंगे बाय एडिंग द सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड फॉलोड बाय द कूलिंग, जिसकी वजह से आपके जो है क्रिस्टल्स जो है क्यूनिन सल्फेट के क्रिस्टल्स का फॉर्मेशन स्टार्ट होता है। और क्यूनिन सल्फेट में आपके क्या है कि सिंकोनिडीन और सिंकोनीन भी प्रेजेंट होता है, जिनको हम रिमूव कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ रिक्रिस्टलाइजेशन। एंड फॉर दिस पर्पज वी विल यूज द हॉट वाटर एंड एक्टिवेटेड चारकोल, एंड एक्टिवेटेड चारकोल इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू रिमूव द impurities like coloring matter and other resinous content. So after that we will chill the solution and clear the filtrate and chill the clear filtrate. So whatever the filtrate we are obtaining, we will cool it at 2 to 10 degrees Celsius. Then quinine sulfate precipitates out. After that we will add boiling water to this precipitates and solid sodium carbonate continuously, and due to which quinine will separate out as a precipitate. So we will dry these precipitate and again recrystallize, and after getting the crystals of quinine we can further proceed for the structure elucidations with the help of the spectral analysis. Okay, so it was all about the isolation method, and in industry similar method is used, but in large amount they use the quantity of the plant material and their assembly is big size. So after that, now whatever the crystals of quinine we obtained, so we can confirm that quinine with the help of some chemical tests. So in first test we will take the quinine solution to which we will add the dilute sulfuric acid, or we can add acetic acid. So there will be the formations of the blue color fluorescence. Second is the Thalacune test, in which we will take the sample to which we will add dilute acetic acid, few ml of water. Few ml of water means you have to add 2 to 5 or 2 to 7 ml of water, few drops of bromine water followed by the shaking. So vigorously you will shake for some time. After that you will add strong ammonia solution. As you will add the strong ammonium solution, there will be formations of the emerald green color, due to which there will be confirmations of the presence of the quinine, and this test is known as the Thalacune test. Then next test is erythroquinine test. In this test we will take the sample to which we will add the dilute acetic acid, few drops of bromine water and 10% potassium ferrocyanide. Then we will shake all the mixture, mix well by shaking, and followed by the addition of strong ammonia solution. So there will be red color which will indicate the presence of the quinine, and this test is known as erythroquinine test. With the help of chromatography we can also identify the quinine. So thin layer chromatography we can use that by using the mobile phase, that is chloroform and diethylamine in the ratio 9:1, and stationary phase is silica gel G, and detecting agent is Dragendorf reagent we can use, which will give the orange yellow color spot. Okay, so we will prepare the sample by dissolving 1 mg of quinine or cinchona alkaloid in 1 ml of methanol. So it is the sample preparation. Then we will compare with the standard drugs, and standard drugs will be quinine, and quinidine may also be there. That whatever the standard drugs you want, if you want to compare the quinine, if you find out the RF value of quinine, then you have to take the standard drug quinine, and if you want to compare quinidine, in that case you have to take the standard drug quinidine. But here we are talking about the quinine, so we will take the standard drug quinines, and RF value for the standard quinine is 0.17. So by comparing by comparing the sample with the standard drugs, we can find out the RF value of isolated quinine, and because of this comparisons, we can confirm the presence of quinine. Next is the estimation method, and we can estimate with the help of the gravimetric or titrometric method. And if you compare that, the gravimetric method gives more accurate results than the titrometric method. The reason behind is that because of high molecular weight of cinchona alkaloid, and there is a small error in the titrations, due to which large errors occurs in the calculated amount of the alkaloid. So gravimetric methods will give the more accurate result than the titrometric method. And what is gravimetric method? That in this method we will take the required quantity of the sample as per the official monograph, and we will dissolve in the calcium oxide followed by the 5 normal sodium hydroxide solution. So here we specify the quantity. This is as per the official procedure. So we have to take the 20 gram of the drug sample, to which we will add the 12 gram of calcium oxide and 5 normal sodium hydroxide solution. It should be 2 ml, and we will stand for overnight. After that, we will transfer this mixture to a Soxhlet apparatus, and we will extract the mark, or whatever the mass or mark is there, we will extract with the benzene, and this benzene extract should shake with successive portion of 5% sulfuric acid. Okay, after completions of extractions with the benzene, we have to extract this, we have to acidify this extract with the 5% of the sulfuric acid. Then this process should repeat 2 or 3 times. After that, we will combine all the acidic extract and made them alkaline, and liberated alkaloid extracted with the chloroform. So what we are doing, that after that we are making the alkaline. Now what is the use of this alkaline? That by using the alkaline we are converting acidic extract, which is in the form of the salt, and from salt we are converting it into the free base. So liberated alkaloid extract, now we are extracting with the chloroform, and chloroform is the non-polar solvent, and free base alkaloids are soluble in the non-polar solvent. So the reason behind this, that we are using alkaline to make the free base, and due to which we are using chloroform, which is a non-polar solvent, and free base are soluble in the chloroform, or we can say in the non-polar solvent. So after completion this extraction, so we will evaporate the solvent and add few ml of ethanol, followed by the evaporations of ethanol and drying the residue to constant weight at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so what we will do, that when extraction is completed, we will evaporate chloroform with the help of distillation. Then whatever the residue is left behind, we will add ethanol solution, and after that we will evaporate this ethanol also, and we will dry the residue which left behind at constant weight till we will get the constant weight at 100 degree Celsius. Next method is the titrometric method. So in this method we will take 2 gram of finely powdered bark drug and weight 2 grams of finely powdered bark. We will weight, and we will transfer it into 100 ml beaker, and we will mix with the 0.5 gram of calcium oxide, and then we will add few ml of water to make the homogeneous paste. Then we will allow it to stand for the 10 minutes. The paste is then transferred to a 200 ml of volumetric flask with 150 ml of the ethanol. After that, we will shake the mixture properly and stand for 1 hour with the occasional shaking. So after 1 hour, we will make up the volume with the ethanol. up to 200 ml, followed by the filtrations through the Wortmann filter paper number 5, and then 100 ml of ethanolic bark extract that represent 1 gram of bark is pipetted out into 400 ml beaker. So 10 ml of 0.1 normal hydrochloric acid and 100 ml of water is added, and excess acid is titrated to the pH 6.2 with 0.05 normal sodium hydroxide using the pH meter. And there should also be determinations of the blank means without extracts. Without extracts you will titrate the without using the sample. Blank titrations will be there, and the ethanol and acid, and the factors which used to calculate the amount of the alkaloid, it will be 1 ml of 0.05 normal NaOH is equivalent to 0.0155 gram of total alkaloid. So by this factor we can calculate the amount of the quinine or whatever the alkaloid is there. So gravimetric and titrometric methods are commonly used for the estimations of quinine. Then if you see the uses of quinine, that pharmacologically antipyretic, analgesic, antimalarial and anti-inflammatory activity have been reported, and major use of this quinine is the anti-malarial. So major points which you have to remember, that source of quinine, its isolation method, identification test, its properties, little bit about the chemistry, and estimation method and uses of quinine you have to remember. So it was all about the quinine drug. So thank you very much for watching the video.